Hey there, if you follow us, you know that here at 5Market Realty, we do market updates each month. This is another market update for the Athens area real estate market, counties around Athens, Oconee County, Jackson County, Madison County. Basically, each month we try to give you information about the real estate market. So if you're a homeowner in the area or someone that's thinking about buying a home, be sure to click subscribe because what we can do is give you information about what we're seeing in the market. And especially right now in April of 2023, real estate news is something a lot of people are talking about. So we like to give as accurate of information, even to folks that aren't in the market, to hopefully you understand what we see. And we try to explain a little bit of what that is. For me, it is Saturday, April 1st, April Fool's Day. Hopefully you're seeing this Monday or Tuesday. It is Masters Week here in Georgia, so that's always fun. But I'm sitting here in the office on Saturday getting this done. And right now on Millage Avenue behind me, a lot of fraternities and sororities are really enjoying good weather. Hopefully you're not hearing the music that I'm hearing from the AGR house, which is directly behind me right here. But let's get started. We're a minute in and I don't want to waste too much of your time. But what I want to talk about is a few things that we're already seeing. First quarter of the year's in, and despite what you've heard, we still have a spring market. Believe it or not, despite the interest rates, homes are still selling. We want to explain to you what's selling and why it's selling. And then also want to delve in a little bit into why real estate has been fighting inflation so well. We've got some different information on this market. We're going to be giving you new information. If you followed us for a while, you might be familiar with the things we track. We'll start off with that, but then we're going to have some different information for you on this one. Let me slide my head over. Now, if you follow us, you know that we like to track the new listings, the home sales, days on market, and the average sale price last 3 years. We do it year to date, and we do it by the month. Right there, you're looking at the same things we've looked at 2021 and 2022. And let's go ahead and bring up what we're seeing year to date. That is going to be this year. We are still the trends you've seen in a lot of these videos, 415 new listings. That's actually a good sign because we saw an uptick in listings. I'll delve into that a little bit later, but we're still 27% behind 2022 and further behind 2021. The days on market is up about 53 days right now compared to the same time point last year. That's pretty good if you're a buyer. You actually have some things to go look at. And then the average sale price is still going up. 423 was the average sale price for Clark and Oconee County over so far year to date. The good news there is, look, that's up about 5.7%. That's compared to last year over the same time frame. That's not up 27%. We're going to talk about that too because that's a good indicator for us right now. And then the total homes sold, this is where the negative is for most people. 264 home sales versus 416 in 2022, down 36.6%. and down 480 from 2021, significantly less transactions going on. But let's look at the month of March, and I'm going to go ahead and pull up these numbers because there's other information I want to get out to you. So the total new listings, we actually saw a surge in the new listings in the month of March in the last 2 days, 183, meaning we're only down about 24%, where we had been down like 50%. So this is significantly better. However, a lot of those listings, a couple of companies dumped some bulk investment properties and maybe some bulk listing of condos. So that number might be more like 163 had we not had these condo and investment properties hit the market. Days on market actually went down a little bit. We were in the 50s a little bit in February. Now we're down to 47. Some things are selling quicker. We got a spring market, folks. The interest rates seem to be acting a little bit more normal instead of all this up and down. So we're up 47%. I would look at that as a good thing. We need people to have time to see a house. And then another good thing is this average sale price. It's still up. This is comparing the month of March to the month of March last year, and we're only up 3.5%. That's good. That's what we expect to see, not this 17, 18, 20, 30% that we were seeing for 2 years, really. And here's where the bad news is. 105 total home sales compared to 168 year before and 199. 168 was low. 105 was very low. So that's just less activity going on for numerous reasons. A lot of it being hard to replace what you have. Many home sellers would not sell their house because they're content. They have a good interest rate, and that's what they're seeing. Let's dive into some new information that I want to talk about to explain what's going on in our market. And hopefully if this is something that you just want to understand what we're seeing, and if you've got to make a home sale or a purchase, maybe this will help you guide through this year. So this is the monthly inventory of homes for Clark and Oconee County. These are homes that are actively for sale, not active contingent. And this is from the Classic MLS, is where we're getting it last several months. If you remember, I kind of changed this graph to be a little bit more clear. If you've been following us for a few years, I've really upped my graph game over the last 6 or 7 months. But right here, going back to July of the summer, interest rates are going up. We saw an extremely low supply. And then we saw this happen where we thought maybe we're starting to get a little hope here, and we're going to have over 200 plus homes on the market. This continued through this really big interest rate increase, and then it's fallen back off of where the inventory of homes. Now we got 191 homes on the market. But as I mentioned to you before, we saw a bunch of listings hit the market last couple of days of April that are like investment properties or condos, and not just a glut of traditional homes. So that's a little bit different than, your traditional thing. We are seeing an upward trend, excuse me, but it's not really your traditional home market, all of it. So monthly total sales, this is another thing. Let me just pull this graph in here. So we're going back to February of last year, almost full year. If you look here, this red line, what it represents is where I would hope for us to be. I mean, we haven't been above that, what you might call the Mendoza line at 200. We haven't been over that monthly sales in such a long time. I think it might have been 2021. And right now, if you look at June, we got close, and then we just started coming right back down. Here's the good news. We hit a trough down there in January. We came back up to 71, and then we got over 100 in March. So the trend is good. But one of the things I've already talked about a little bit is, in that 105 sales, one of the things that's going on is this. A lot of these sales are condos. So while we are seeing an uptick in sales and an uptick in listings, it's not your traditional housing market. We have a market here in Athens that is driven by oftentimes investors, but obviously UGA parents, UGA students, people that have a need for a property for a short period of time and prefer to try to purchase something and not pay rent the whole time. You look at 2021, the percentage of condo sales, that's what we're looking at. Over the total sales in Clark County, what percentage of them are condo? Well, in 2021, it was 20%. A year ago, it was less than 20%. But as of today, 3 full months into the year, 30% of all of our sales, that's 30%, are a condo. That's a significant number. Now, I didn't go back to 2015 to see what it looked like, but that's almost a quarter plus of the market is being driven by something that's not your traditional home. Now, another thing I want to talk about that's been a big narrative is this graph right here, Clark and Oconee County, percentage of total sales over 500. The reason I want to talk about that is there's a lot of feeling out there about affordability. It's a concern. We've seen prices go up so much, trying to understand that, trying to manage it. It's one of the reasons people aren't selling homes, because if they sold theirs, they might make a bunch of money. But then again, they're worried about trying to purchase in the current climate because of what's happened. So what I did was I went back and I looked at the percentage of sales over $500,000 in Clark and Oconee County, going back, starting here in 2019. 2019, it was 6%. In fact, in all of Clark and Oconee County in 2019, there were only 3 total home sales over $1 million, like barely even registered on the blip. 93% of them were under $500,000. 93% of the sales were under $500,000. Let's flash forward a little bit here, go to 2021. 2021, we had gone from 6% over 500 to 17% over $500,000. And what's going on then? We're fighting the pandemic. There's money being given away, being printed, and it's really starting to impact the economy. Obviously, people wanting to live different places. Let's just go from 2021 to 2022, and let's look here where we are. This is year to date now. This is just the first 3 months of 2023. We're already at 22% of the total sales are over $500,000. Keep in mind, we are having less sales, so that is creating that. But if I told you that 30% of those are condos, then that means what is selling that's not a condo is significantly higher. We kind of have this middle range right now that we're not seeing a lot of activity, and we're still seeing a lot of high home sales. Now, I'm coming to this graph too, because while I did explain that to you, and it seems like such a negative about the affordability of homes, there's a little bit of good news here. So what this graph is we're looking at the month compared to the same month the year before. How much did the home sale price increase when compared to the same 30 days of the year before? So if you look here in June, back in June of 2022, it was 14% higher than June of 2021, 14% higher than in July 2021. Then we spiked up here. We went to 26% in August, 28% in September. We had some big properties sell that really drove those numbers up. But you can see what the graph's doing now, obviously with the interest rates that started to happen at the tail end of the year and through the winter. That trend totally reversed itself. And the good news is the month-over-month appreciation is starting to look a little bit more normal. It's not on a negative side, but it's looking the way it should versus 30, 40, 50%. So the message here is the home price appreciation is slowing, but it's still growing. It's growing at the pace right now that we want to see, which is a little bit more like this instead of just skyrocketing to the moon. If it continues to skyrocket to the moon that fast, it's going to crash. Now, there are some factors to understand here that I want to talk about, because it doesn't matter if you're in the market. We're not here to give you information to tell you to get in, but we're trying to help you if you are in the market that you have to buy something, or if you just want to stay informed. These are the factors to kind of understand what's going on in our real estate market and what's caused so many of these things to happen. First of all, let's come out and say it. There's been a historic increase in the money supply. You cannot print money and give it away during COVID to businesses and people the way that has happened. I don't know the numbers of how much money has been printed and given to people. And it's okay. I'm not pointing a finger. If the government's going to give you free money, take it. But that's the fact of the matter, is we have more money in circulation than we've ever had before. And unfortunately, $1 million just isn't what it used to be. I want $1 million. It's a lot of money to me. $1,000 is a lot of money to me. But when you're starting to see is inflation is impacting what that dollar number is. That's why we're seeing so many homes over $500,000 and $1 million, because there's so much more cash that's been out there, and it's really devalued the number in a sense. Another thing about our area is continues to grow. Clark County, Oconee County, Jackson County, Barrow County, Madison, even Oglethorpe. This metro area is very popular. We have people that are moving here for various reasons, and COVID made it where a lot of people can live here now. So that is not changing. Another thing that I just mentioned, if people are moving here from other areas, we're starting to see income come into our market that is not from our market. So if somebody that makes their income from California can live in Athens, Georgia, they have a California income level and they can spend that money in Georgia. That's starting to impact some affordability issues too. It's just one of these impacts of COVID that we're starting to see. Lastly, two things. Difficult to bring on new inventory. One, building homes right now is expensive. It's hard in Clark County and Oconee County that have restrictions on building new homes to all of a sudden create a glut of inventory. Something might change in the economy that could create that, but right now we haven't seen it. And lastly, folks, real estate has been performing well against inflation. If you think back to what people were talking about at the beginning of the pandemic, I remember having a listing in Beechwood Hills, people making offers. You better take our offer. It's a worldwide pandemic. And thinking that things were going to go bad. The only thing that happened to prices was they went up. And as we have this inflationary problem, real estate prices have continued to go up, and we are seeing more people remove their money from the stock market and put it into a hard asset because of the inflation. If cash is just sitting around right now with the inflation problem we've been fighting, it is really getting eaten alive. Long and short, thanks for sticking with us for 12 minutes. We can help you if you're needing to do something or just want to get a plan in place. The rates are really a lot more level than they've been, and we're seeing a little less volatility. Info at 5M Realty, that's our group. Be sure to reach out to someone. We can help you find a home, sell a home. And other than that, we hope you have a great April. And thanks for sticking with me for all of now, 13 minutes. Have a great week of April, and enjoy the Masters.